Welcome to the Hockey Huddle, the ultimate podcast for hockey fans by hockey fans, where we break down the latest on and off ice from power plays to game-changing trades. Whether you're a die-hard fan or new to the sport, we've got all the action, analysis, and hot takes you'll need to stay in the game. We'll bring you exclusive interviews with other fans, weekly breakdowns, and everything you need to know from the NHL and beyond. So lace up your skates, grab your stick, and let's drop the puck on today's episode of the Hockey Huddle. Hey, here we are, episode number 7, and we've got an exciting fan interview this week. And this is Boris. Boris comes to us from parts unknown, and Boris is actually my nephew, and we're excited to have him on the podcast. You know, the first thing we want to ask you is, what's going on? How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on the podcast. And, you know, I was talking to your mom about you becoming a fan and what a big fan you are of hockey, and you're a fan of a specific hockey team. What is Boris's team?
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Boris,
Okay.
You're a good kid, man. I don't care what your mom says about you.
It's true.
Ooh, ouch. So Carl, how did you become a Toronto Maple Leafs fan? How did that start?
It started when my mom started watching the games, and then I started watching it with her.
That's cool. And go ahead.
I was going to say, Peter, have you played road hockey before?
No, never.
Never? What about ice hockey?
I've skated, but never ice hockey.
All right, you have potential for greatness. So the Toronto Maple Leafs have a couple needs. So if you can start skating, get your mom out there with you so that we can get you. You can play. Do you want to play forward or D, or do you want to play goalie?
I would say I would play forward.
Attaboy. So you want to score some goals.
Yeah.
All right, good job, Tim. That's awesome. So I heard that you were listening to some of our podcasts and you didn't agree with something that we were talking about. What was that you didn't agree with, buddy? Do you remember?
Trading Austin Matthews. That's kind of...
Trading
What,
Austin.
I don't. Hey, that was a
Jonathan,
serious conversation.
I hated it too. I hated it. It hurt me to hear that. I'm like, you don't ever get rid of Austin Matthews. You have to be crazy to do that. He's like the best goal scorer we've ever had.
I don't know if you believe. Is that what do you want to say about Austin Matthews and what we were saying about the trade, buddy? What do you think?
Only idiots would do that.
Oh my God.
Wow.
This kid is
Okay.
going to
He's
be
smart.
a lawyer.
Yeah, he's smart.
Wow.
He knows what he's
Yeah.
talking about.
You could never do it.
Nope.
You'll never get anything that is worth him. There's nothing.
It's very true. Smart.
And is Austin Matthews? He's your favorite player?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Ronnie, we're excited that you came on the podcast with us this week. Is there anything else you want to tell us? Anything you want to talk about? What do you think of the new power play structure with the Boston Bruins and the 2-2-1?
I would say they're going into defense a lot, and they're doing well.
Okay, and
They're doing well
what
with
is
defense.
what's your favorite part
They
of
are.
what's your favorite part of watching the Leafs? What do you think? What's the
Power
best part of
play.
watching them? The power play. Yeah, they've got a pretty good power play.
It's pretty exciting to watch. At any moment they can score. It's brilliant.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, Dave, we appreciate you joining the call, and we're happy to have you on. Keep listening, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Can I ask Javier one more question? Who's your
Please, yeah,
second
do it.
favorite player?
My second, William Nylander.
Good one.
I heard he has a brother.
Nice.
I heard he has a brother. William Nylander has a brother. Have you heard of his brother yet?
Oh my God! Here we go.
No.
His
You're not
brother's
going
name
to.
is his brother's name is Alexander, and they played hockey growing up together, and it was almost serendipitous, the news that we heard earlier today. And your uncle owes me a lot of Tim Hortons points, and we'll get into that matter in a couple minutes. But
I don't even know what serendipitous means.
it means it's a fortuitous mistake.
Fortuitous doesn't make it any better.
Oh, sorry.
Reginald,
Happy.
Reginald, can you explain what fortuitous means? No, neither can we. Nobody uses that
All
word.
right, there we go. Okay.
Really happy to see those two brothers together.
Yep. Weird.
All
We
right.
don't know how.
All right, Brian. Thank you for joining us, and
See you, Tim.
we'll have you guys jump off and have a great
See you,
evening.
Santa.
Go to bed.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, buddy. Nice meeting you, man. He's a cute kid.
Good kid, eh? Smart too.
Good kid.
And you want to know? So this is the funniest thing. So last week, week 6, we started discussing how the inception of this whole podcast came together, and I believe there was, of the 37 minutes we spoke about, there was 35 minutes where I was called an idiot for some weird reason. And I
Yeah.
couldn't believe my two close friends here would do that to me. And the funniest thing happened today.
Here we go.
My buddy Shane actually brought it to my attention. He sent me a text, and if I was driving, I would have gotten in an accident. And it said today, the Toronto Maple Leafs sign Alexander Nylander to an NHL contract that will be prorated. And he will be playing with the Maple Leafs. And there's a bunch of different stories that he's going to be playing with his brother, William.
Oh, there's no doubt now. Unfortunately, yeah, man, like I don't even know how many points you have, but you got a way more than I do. But I own points, but I don't use my thing, so I got like 5 points.
So you have 5 points. That just really add up. So I think that the bet was as many points as we had by the end of the year, and that's how many points.
I'm going to load up, buddy. I'm going to use mine every day and eat crow.
God, that was so amazing. I'm like, of all the things, that was almost as good as the Leafs making the second round. Almost as good. Almost.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty amazed. But, hey, man, when everybody's injured.
Check the tapes. We're going back to check the tapes on this bet because I'm pretty sure the bet was the Nylander brothers playing together on the same line.
But they're going to. It's a matter of time, dude. We're screwed. We're screwed.
Even if it doesn't bother. It's a line change where they're on together. I don't even care. A tip of a skate on.
Dude, it's going to be the third line's going to be something ridiculous like Holmberg, Nylander.
It has a good
or the second line. Like it's happening. You know it. They want
Well,
to play together. They know each other since birth, for God's sake.
There's that thing too.
Yeah,
I've got 684 points in my Tim Hortons account right now, and I'm going to leave here immediately and go get a hot chocolate, which is worth 600 points, leaving you 84. All for you.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But you know what? It just feels good to be right. That's all that really matters.
Yep. Nope.
Feels good.
It doesn't change.
You own it, dude. No, it's a brilliant thing. He owns it, man.
Yep. Thank you.
It's like childbirth. Yes. That's what he did.
Yep.
He is another boy.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
you gave birth to a hockey prediction.
There we go.
Like a prodigy.
That's
right.
That's
what happened for him today.
So I think we need to definitely put our heads together and come up with some other crazy prediction to see what's going to come true. Well, the last time it was Josh Hosang. That didn't come true. He's now playing in the East Coast Hockey League for the Florida Blaze, by the way, Mr. Josh Hosang. Listening to us right now live, obviously. Yeah, obviously. And the other thing is, so we need to come up with some other kind of predictions, so we'll think about that for the next podcast. But I was listening to a very famous show, but Doug McLean was on. And Doug McLean said, the Toronto Maple Leafs, if they do anything to make this team better, they need to trade for Nazem Kadri from the Calgary Flames. He said to call Treliving and get it done because this is exactly the elixir the Leafs need to win.
Hey, how old is he again? Sorry, how old?
Kadri, I think
61?
he's 30 maybe. 30?
I don't think he's 30, dude.
29, 30, you know what I mean? So we got him for another 3 years.
He's got to be.
7.
I think he's a little bit older
35.
than 30, like 33, 34.
He's not.
Let's talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah,
like Google.
And Rick, you're going to love this. You're going to love this part. This is the second part of what Doug McLean said, and he's a very smart man. He said, along with Kadri in the trade, they need to pick up Mackenzie Weegar. He said that. Right?
It's not going to happen. We can't get both.
I wonder what's happening.
He's 34.
34.
Kadri is 34. He's not 29.
That's in dog years. He's 34. He's 29.
That is in.
It's fine.
In dog years.
Our years.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Dog years.
No,
Flame years.
It doesn't. I don't want him. Okay, no. That's a lie.
So let me tell you about
I do. I'm sorry. I do.
Wow.
We
but
don't
I don't
want him.
like the contract associated with it.
We don't want
talking about-
Nazem Kadri. Nazem Kadri, if you've seen him play, Nazem Kadri knows where 75% of the ice is, and it's from his blue line to their goal line. He doesn't know that there's ice between his blue line and his goal line. He doesn't know it exists, and he doesn't skate into that area. And when he does, it's like he's holding a parachute, and he's like trying to skate around with a parachute in his back. We do not want
Something
Nazem
tells
Kadri.
me that a Kadri would be a pretty nice third line guy.
I don't know. You need a defensive
value, there's
third.
got to be something better.
Hey, so let's talk
Must
about
be something
lines.
better.
Let's talk a little bit about lines. So let's say, I mean, could be even before Kadri, but Shane, who would you say now that the Nylander twins are there? What would the lineup be? Who are your lines, buddy? Who would you say?
Well,
Who would you call?
Jason, I think my first line would not change. No, it would change. I said I didn't want to have Marner and Matthews on a line together. I think they should be separated. And that's been pretty evident since he's been gone. The dude can carry a line. Why we got two line carriers on one line if we're trying to balance it out, right?
Yep.
So you probably would put Knives, Matthews, and who did I say on center?
You said it could be Knives, Matthews, and Domi.
It could be Domi, right?
Yeah.
And then I would still go right back to Pacioretty, but I would maybe put Marner there and Tavares.
Yeah. And your third line?
My third line could be Nylander,
and
Kadri in a real world. But if not, then it would be Nylander, Holmberg, I guess.
Okay. Hey, so are we going to go double or nothing on...
I got Domi in there?
Yeah, with the Nylander brothers.
Yeah.
Are we going to go double or
That's a
nothing?
slow second line. Yikes.
Yeah, but that second line was absolutely ridiculous. Did you watch it play? They don't have to be your second. They could be your third.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That could be your third
There is
line.
magic.
And don't tell
There
me
is
that's
John-
not a badass third line with Tavares, with Pacioretty, and Marner.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's killer.
I've been talking about
Love
the
it.
Marner-Tavares chemistry for years.
Yeah, and throw Pacioretty in there as your second line. That's not a slow line. No. And then two Nylanders and a Holmberg is not a slow line either. You guys?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are we going to
I
do
don't know if I
double or
can make
nothing?
that change.
Because you're in Calgary.
Okay, wait. Are we going to do a double or nothing that Kadri comes to the Leafs this year?
He's not coming.
Yeah,
For
that's
84
definitely double or nothing. He's not coming to Toronto.
For 84 points, like whatever. I think I got for 84 Tim points, you big spender.
Well, I have 5 points.
So 89.
89
So
points.
Nick Robertson worth of points.
Alexander McGillney.
Or McGillney, yeah. Speaking of McGillney, why is he not in the Hall of Fame?
We already went through this, didn't we? That Russian thing. It's something about him being.
He didn't contribute to the Hall of Fame presentation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he just wanted to play
Speeches
hockey and
and-
leave. Nothing to do with him being Russian.
No, at all.
It has nothing to do with his country of origin.
At all.
Crickets.
Body language says so much.
Wow. Hey, I want to talk about Tim Hortons points. We're talking about Tim Hortons for a second, and I don't know about you guys, but when I started learning about hockey stats, it was on hockey cards. And I'd have a huge collection. We get them at the grocery store. They were a couple of bucks, and I'd spend hours looking at all the cards and the teams and the stats and all this stuff. And Tim Hortons is doing these hockey cards now, which I think is pretty great. Because I can now give the kids these cards, and they are looking at the cards and the jerseys. And my youngest guy is 4 years old, and he can list off 6 NHL teams at 4 years old, which I think is pretty impressive. Because he's quickly becoming a hockey fan. But I was in the Timmy's lineup this morning. This is not hockey related, but what is good drive-through etiquette at Tim Hortons? When you pull up, you probably know your order, and you get to the window. What is good etiquette when you're at Tim Hortons? Because we're going to talk about poor Tim Hortons etiquette in a second here.
But you got to have your Tim's app ready to scan. You got to have your
Open on your phone,
ready to go. Yeah, ready to go.
Open on your phone, right? So
Yeah.
you're ready. And they're moving fast, so you move fast because it's a fast. You get in, you get your coffee, get the out of the lineup.
Yep.
This morning, good God, there was somebody who did not understand. So they got to the menu and they said, "What can we get you?" And they said, "Yes, I'll have one of everything," or whatever they said, because they must have ordered 17,000 things.
Oh my God.
For, I'm guessing, 94 seconds, so a Ryan Smith worth of seconds at the drive-through box, ordering whatever they're ordering, and I can hear they're bantering. They're having a good old time. La la la. We're chatting through the window at Tim Hortons. I'm like, look, I'm gonna order a coffee and go. So they're carrying on, and I'm expecting when they get to the window that there's gonna be an exchange of goods, bags of stuff and drinks and trays. No, small coffee.
What? Nice.
This cup went out the window. 4 minutes in the drive-through. You should have gone to the window and said, "I want a small coffee and whatever I want in it, and I'm going to get out of the line because there's 19 people behind me." No, that didn't
That's
happen.
terrible.
So I got so pissed off I didn't order hockey cards this morning. Well,
One other thing about Tim Hortons etiquette, now that you brought it up, thank you for doing that. So if you're coming into Tim Hortons and you're turning left into the parking lot and there's one spot to slide into and you've been waiting about a minute and a half to turn left in, and some guy comes coming the other way, and he can turn right and slide in, how many times do you want to punch that guy in the nose because you've been waiting. He's been driving for a kilometer. He can see you waiting with your indicator on. He just slides in, but he doesn't make eye contact. I'll tell you what happened today. And every time this happens for me, I've been waiting to turn left to go in. And the guy lets me in. He waves me in. You know what I do? I buy him his coffee. I get up to the window. I order my stuff. And then I say, hey, whatever the guy bought behind me, I'm paying for it. And so I did that today. That happened today. Yeah, for sure. It's the right thing to do, right? Speaking about the right thing to do.
One more thing. We are not sponsored by Tim Hortons. We have no affiliation with them, but we could.
We would like to.
I have probably put a few Tim Horton managers' kids through college. So
You definitely have.
kind of like, they owe us.
Oh, every day. Well, we talked about this. I go every day. The only day we don't go is Christmas, and that's only because they're closed. If they were open, I would definitely go. And I said before, I get an extra one on Christmas Eve, and we warm it up the next day. But anyways, Tim Hortons, if you're listening, so are we. Beautiful. Now, speaking about boneheads and stuff like that, let's talk about the NHL and how they decide to change the rules and do things differently when they're looking towards head hits in the NHL. So if we, first of all, now we haven't talked about this since the last Friday.
Hold on 1 second. Are you saying there's not a wonderfully consistent process where there's the equal punishment for an equal crime?
There's not, but the funny thing is there's a rule book. If you follow the rules and you do what the rules say and you don't kind of guess and change what happens, you'd be fine. So let's look at the hit, the Ryan Reeves hit on Darnell Nurse, where he knocked his eyebrow back onto his head. Now, what happened there? Darnell Nurse is coming around the back of the net, and Reeves is going after the puck. Darnell Nurse's head, he's leading with his head. He's got a long neck, right? And he's leaning forward. Head down. And here's the weird thing. When you skate, you don't skate like this. Oh, I've got perfect posture. You don't skate like that. You skate forward with your head down. So even if
for yourself.
Your head was up and you look, well, besides Rick, you skate with your head forward. So when Revo comes in to hit him, he doesn't go in to smoke the guy in the head on purpose. He goes on to hit him. He hits head and then shoulder and falls through. But what the NHL is saying is that's a 5-game suspension. That's a game misconduct.
Went to get the puck too.
Yeah, and he went.
Notice he used his stick to get the puck too, but still, crushed.
He did get crushed.
He crushed him. It was a penalty. It was a suspension. Whatever. Who cares, man?
Okay, so let's say it's a penalty.
Loved it.
But you know what's funny about all those guys? So the NHL rule makers say, yeah, that's a penalty, 5-game suspension, and all those guys out there, spitting chicklets, Mr. Bissonnette there, Jay Rosehill, all those people on the panel, they're like, yeah, we agree with the NHL, what they said there. That was perfectly fine. Let's go with that. That's a suspension. So let's fast forward to the Brock Besser hit. Okay? So you get Tanner Jeannot, he goes in, and it's the same thing. He hits the guy from the side. So as he comes in, he actually hits him on the shoulder first, follows through, then hits him in the head. He goes down. He gets a 5-minute penalty, a game misconduct, and he gets suspended for 3 games. Cool.
Sounds blindside hits.
Right? So let's fast forward to the Matthew Nyes hit. So Matthew Nyes is coming down. He's going straight on, and Mr. Whitecloud comes up, and he hits him. Before he hits him, he's the only one of the 3 hits where he actually jumps, and you can see it. He leaves the ice. Now, Matthew Nyes and Whitecloud are the exact same height, 6'2". But when the hit happens, he's a full foot taller than Matthew Nyes. He makes direct contact with his head first, freeze frame it, anybody can do it at home, and then the NHL said because he followed through and hit the body, it's not a penalty. And here's the weird thing, guys. It's going to follow through because the head is connected to the body. It's going to hit his body. So the difference is if you hit a guy head on and you hit his head, he gets a concussion, no penalty, nothing. That's a good hit. Mr. Bissonnette, go spit some chiclets. And then Mr. Rosehill, they're saying that's a clean hockey hit. So essentially, if all you guys are saying the blindside hit, like Shane said, from the side,
yeah, it's from the angle,
that's a penalty, then put that in the rules. Don't change it on the fly and do whatever you think that you should do. Call the penalty right. It's a head hit. It's done. That was a charge of nothing else. Plus, we got the penalty.
I don't even think it was just like 2 minutes either, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 4 minutes? Was it a 4-minute?
Yeah, we got a 4-minute, and they got
Benoit in there and roughed some up. They got like 4. Yeah. I do believe it was 4. Was it a 4-minute penalty?
Yeah, 4, and he got 2 because he had to punch back because Benoit went after him.
Yeah, man. I love knives too, and I hate to. I didn't like that at all.
What's your take on the hits?
I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. I'm just sorry, guys. It's a positive day for me.
Rick, what do you say, buddy? I know you and I talked a little bit about.
It brought us in Alexander Nylander. You should be a happy guy.
I am happy.
Everything's working out now. Without sacrifice, you cannot
So
move forward.
believe it or not, hockey is a contact sport, and you're going to get hit, and you need to be ready to get hit. So Darnell Nurse, you're coming around the back of the net. You're not new to the NHL. You're not new to hockey.
Yep.
Pick your head up. Pick your head up, and you've got to be aware, when you're a professional hockey player, you got to be aware of who's on the ice. And when you see a freight train wearing number 75 coming at you, then you need to be aware. And for sure, he's saying something. I'm coming in for a hit. Revo's saying, here I come. I'm, heads up. I'm coming for you. Something along the lines. Now, if he is 3 feet closer to the boards than he is, I think we're talking about serious injuries. I think Reeves plows him through the boards. We got a broken collarbone, or concussion, or something like that. And Nurse is out for 10 days with whatever they're calling concussion protocol, upper body injury, whatever that sounds like.
Yep.
I read some of the rules today
Plastic
on
eyebrow surgery.
Plastic eyebrow surgery. That's right. Yeah. I read the rules today on the Department of Justice and what they're expected to do. And if you have any previous disciplinary or supplementary action, then you are expected to have increasing amounts of supplementary action. Meaning that if you have had previous suspensions and you commit a suspendable offense, you're going to get an increased amount of suspension versus another guy. Now, Tanner Jeannot and Revo probably have the same amount of previous supplementary discipline. I didn't check, but they probably have something very similar. So there should be equal suspensions. Was that hit on Nurse a 5-game suspension? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's a 5-gamer.
4 to 5. It's 4 to 5. That's what
I think it's a 2 or a 3 because you've got to put some onus.
Plus 1 for a leaf.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
You got to put some ownership on the guy who's getting hit to have his head up and being paying attention to the play. If you're not paying attention.
Yeah. So they're like, well, his head was down. He wasn't seeing. So, like, what happens, man? Can I just, like, skate the whole way with my head down and no one can hit me?
Right.
Can I just
So it's a contact sport.
Yeah. I'm like, can you not
what do you learn as a kid? When you're a kid, you learn you got to play with your head up. Your stick handling, eyes forward, but sticking like the puck in front of you. I don't know. I think that's a 2 or a 3 game. Okay. And maybe it's a 2 or 3 game penalty for hitting too hard, I guess. But
he's got a history, man. He's got a history. Reeves hurts people.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
And, I mean,
Bruce, and that's what he went there to do. He did it.
Yeah, he did.
Whatever. And he took the 5 and whatever. Move on, man, right?
The only guy who
see the hit.
The only guy that stood up for the Matthew Nyes hit that was talking about it like it was a hit to the head because, like, come on. They're saying you follow through, and Jay Rosehill said you naturally go up like that. You don't jump off your skates when you hit a guy, dude. You jump off your skates when you hit a guy when you jump up to hit the guy. Sure, there's automatic motion when you go up to hit someone, and I know, Rosehill, you've hit someone, and so have I, but you don't jump up and hit him. That's jumping, that's charging, dude, and he hit him in the head. So unless you were hitting the head too much, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, come on. The only person that stood up and said that was a hit to the head and it should have been a penalty and he couldn't believe they didn't call it was Bruce Boudreau. He came up and he goes, I don't know what these guys are talking about. But if you watch it, the guy got hit in the head. So guess what? It's a frickin' penalty.
He should have gotten 5, and then none of this would be happening. But we were, like, the bottom line is still, we're without a very important player on our team.
Well, let's talk about that game against Vegas. Let's talk about the game.
Man, what the hell?
That was a feisty game.
Yeah, that had a playoff feel.
That had a playoff feel. Like you saw Tavares bringing guys on the ice and filling them in. You saw some good nasty hockey, and there's some big guys in the lineup. Like you got Matthews out, you got Domi out, Pacioretty's out, Kampf is out, and the boys played with some grit. And those young kids, they played great.
Yep.
Yeah.
They played well. It was exciting.
And we lost chippy hockey halfway through the game, basically.
Yeah, we did.
No.
And then he lost knives. So, like, holy moly.
Sucks. Like, he's like that kid. He's an amazing. He's got a great future.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And it was a feisty game. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch. That Oilers game, I had a bet with a guy at work, and if the Oilers lost, he's going to wear a Leafs jersey. He's a hardcore Oilers fan. So if Leafs lose, he's wearing my John Tavares jersey. So on Monday, I'm going to celebrate the shit out of that, as he hates Toronto and loves Edmonton. Oh yeah, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah. You need to take pictures, and that's going to be on the pod for sure.
Well, he's gonna hate
100%.
life, man.
Yeah. So I mean, let's
Edmonton's in trouble. Edmonton is in trouble, man.
For sure.
No goaltending.
Edmonton's in trouble.
Got slower. Crappy D. Yeah, not good. Not good.
Well,
so if
Bouchard has been playing like shit. But if you look at Bouchard, how he went off the other night, he went end to end, and he scored a beautiful goal. Where has that been for the first 18 games of this season? He's just been just a plug. Like, what is going on with Evan Bouchard?
But you've also picked up guys like Skinner, but Skinner is great offensive, but like not a defensive gem at all. No. He's actually suspect at best. Yeah. And you put him in, and then all of a sudden you've got more load on an already weak D and a
skeptical goaltending.
No, bad goaltending. And I hate to say it, that guy might be our team candidate dude, which sucks. That's another day.
Not on my day. Yeah. Not on my watch.
You've got McDavid, you've got Leon Draisaitl, you've got RNH, you've got all these guys. Why do you need an offensive defenseman when you have potentially the strongest offense in the league, specifically with McDavid? Why do you need an offensive
Stupid.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense. It is. So that game, thank you, Edmonton, for having us beat Edmonton. So that was awesome. Without Austin Matthews, felt so great. Speaking of Austin Matthews, Shane and I were having a bit of a discussion about, so in order for a team to recoup any money on long-term injury reserve, you have to be out for at least the game count is 10 games, or I believe it's 24 days. So currently, Mr. Austin Matthews has been out for 7 games. So Utah, which we know he's still in Germany right now, celebrating extra Oktoberfest. Bratwurst. So he will not be there for Utah's game. Lederhosen on Sunday. And if I was a betting man, I don't think the Leafs did this on purpose. I think it kind of just happened, and
advantage of it. They're taking advantage.
Yeah, so he's not going to play in Tampa or Florida, and you know what that means? That means 10 games. That means $1.35 million extra to the long-term injury reserve fund, which would pay for Alexander Nylander's salary, and then some.
Probably even all the coffee.
Yeah, well, they can chip in and buy me a coffee. So I think Matthews will not return until after that Tampa game, right? So you mark my words. That's another seeing into the future that I'm sharing with you guys right now.
Something's happening here, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know.
Something is happening in Toronto.
It's cap management. Is that what we're suggesting?
But it's cap management. But like, it seems as if even down like the lower guys, we weren't given much of a chance beforehand, have a brand new set of eyes with Berube and a different type of way to play hockey. And maybe those guys who are coming up might fit the role a bit, so we can squeeze in different players, and other guys like maybe Camp might be replaced by forecheck, back check.
And oh my gosh, number 71.
That guy. Oh, see his defensive play too. The last game was
he dove and knocked the puck away on that breakaway. Fantastic. Great hands. Like, he's going after everything. He hit everything that moves. He almost hit our own players because they were moving nearby him.
Then again, you got to remember, as the adrenaline wears down, what type of player is he going to be?
But he was like that in the preseason too. He's got a ton of energy. I love him.
Yeah, but can't last forever.
So let's talk.
Shine wears off.
Let's talk about a big contract additions. You've got Tavares and Marner coming off the books next year. Potentially Marner coming off the books.
He just got Tavares. Marner is signing.
So think about the contract or the cap space that you free up. In 2026, at the end of the 2026 season, there is somebody who is a Markham, Ontario, Newmarket, Ontario native whose contract will end. Richmond Hill. That person is number 97, Connor McDavid.
You think he's coming home?
Is there a world where in 2027 you see a team that has Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid on the same team. Does that reality exist?
You know what? I think that if John Tavares signs a team-friendly deal at
Which he's going to.
what do we say? 4-5, 4-4-5,
4-5. Yeah.
2.5 to 3.5 max.
I think he goes 3 years, 4.5. And
Wrong. 3 mil.
Did you talk to Brad about this?
There's certain things I can see, man, and I just know it's happening.
Okay.
Because he's got his money, and people hated his contract, and the entire time that he's been here, it's been I know he's a great player, he's a point a game, he's been everything, he's been amazing, but it's just the contract, and he's going to turn around, he's going to say, I want people to really, really love me, and I'm going to take this, and we're going to hoist him into the air at the front of the parade.
What are you drinking?
Drinking beers, buddy.
Okay, cool. So
beers of winning.
So let's say he signs for 3-5. It's 3-5.
Three.
Yeah, 4-5, right.
Okay, 4-5. Okay, there we go. So let's say 4. Okay, anyway, so we'll say 4. So that gives us $7 million. Then we've got Marner's, we'll call it 11. It's 10.9, but that's 11. So that gives us $18 million. What do you sign Marner for? Do you sign him, if he signs for 8 years, what do you sign Marner for? Do you sign him for 13? Do you sign him for 12.5? Or does he do what Austin Matthews did and only sign for 5 and bets on himself?
So I think that's a good contract, a 5-year contract where you sign him for 12.5, 13. Yeah, 12.5 for 5. I think that is a respectable contract. And you see Marner take over. Like, he is playing for a contract this year. He is playing so well.
No, I'm like, oh man, you know what? Sorry, man. Like, he's probably got freaking doubt.
He might, yeah.
Man. Hey man, you've had 2 concussions already. I hate to say it, but business is business. Like, get him while he's weak. You've had 2 concussions.
Yeah.
We'll offer you this.
So what's
You're
the cap?
guaranteed, man?
What's the cap going up to then, guys? Is it going up another $4 million too? So we got another 4. So we're only paying him 2.
Nyes is 9.25. Yeah, McCabe signed.
Because his
deal was at 4, except they ate half the contract, right?
Which means that we didn't pay it on the cap.
Yeah, we want to get like into
technical.
Numbers. Yeah,
if you want to pay dollars.
McCabe signed 2-year, 5.7 average annual salary of 2.85, and that's not the current number. He signed a 5-year extension for 22.5 mil. Cap hit of 4.5 per season.
Okay, so it's 4.4. I said, yeah. So it's okay.
Okay. That means we got $3 million to spend.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well,
so let's cross that bridge when we come.
There you go. Well, then you got Minton. You got.
He's still signed for another 2 years.
Then you got Nylander. Not William.
You got Easton Cowan's coming up.
Yeah.
Easton and Alex Nylander. So you wanted to talk about Ovi and his broken leg, dude, and like what happened there. Like, what happened? So all I know is
Tim Horton's etiquette. Where is the etiquette for a guy who's about to break the all-time goal-scoring record, and you put him in a position where he breaks his leg? What? How does he get away with that? How do you, like, in what scenario does that not get equaled out, and the retribution that is coming for this guy? Like,
but Tom Wilson just dummied this guy. Like, he threw him around like a rag doll, and I heard this guy's going, listen. Hey, the guy hit him. It was in a scrum. It wasn't like he went out and hit Ovi. There was a bunch of guys.
It wasn't dirty.
It wasn't dirty, but it happened. And so this guy goes, okay, up to Wilson. And Wilson goes, we're meeting out there. And he goes, do you have somebody a little smaller that I could possibly fight who would also fight me? Like Rasmus Sandin possibly to fight me. Yeah. Number 38, I'll fight him. But I want to fight you. But then Wilson ragdolled the guy, right? The guy paid for his crime. That wasn't even a real crime.
But did he? Like, McBain is not, like, he is, like, yeah, Wilson took care of business afterwards, but he's on a pace. He leads the league in goal scoring. He's got 27 goals to go, 27 goals before he breaks the record. And does the payback equal the crime he committed?
And you got hurt.
You've got to be in control of your body. You have to be in control of your body, leg on leg.
But I heard McBain's Gretzky's cousin. Did you guys hear that? Wayne McBain. That's his dad.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. There we go, right?
He's not going to get it this year. That's all that.
It's, you know what? It does suck.
This year, he's getting it next year. That's it.
Well,
That's the
well,
only
he's gonna-
difference.
If
Well,
he's
again,
out
I don't
6 weeks, right? So if he's out 6 weeks, can he do it in the last, like 6
No.
weeks takes you into,
No.
like what, January?
Yeah. And
No.
And you've got 3 months to score 27 goals.
Yeah, and he's also like
he'll get another 15.
He's 57 years old, so I don't like. Is he
Yeah.
going to make it, or
I don't know.
No, it's not happening this year. That ruined it. That derailed.
So did I talk about what Damian Cox said on the radio today?
No.
Well,
Yes,
Damian
you did.
Cox
Off the pod, you told me it.
off the pot. Okay, so he said that the 178 goals that Wayne scored in the World Hockey Association should be counted in his professional goals scoring. So 178. So
Sure.
So you know what I mean. So that's what he said. He's a smart guy. So let's side with
Counted,
him.
no. Counted in your professional, but not your NHL stats because those
Give
goals weren't scored in the
Ovechkin
NHL.
what he's earned. He's for now.
There's an H in it though. It was WHA. So in all your eight, no. All right,
No.
we tried. All right, anyways. So what
Ridiculous. Damian Cox, give your head a shake.
about? Yeah, it's true. I think you have a story that you wanted to tell about the Jets in Howard Chuck, don't you, Rick?
So so it was the 5-year anniversary of Howard Chuck's jersey retirement, and I was actually at the game where they retired his jersey. Amazing experience. And I used to live in Barrie, Ontario, and Howard Chuck was the head coach of the Barrie Colts and the OHL team there. Pretty cool experience. And so I got to see the game in a suite, and it was like an amazing experience. And Winnipeg, as much as Winnipeg's a tough place to be, Winnipeg's a pretty cool place to go watch a hockey game. The crowd is into the game, and it's not like one of the metro markets where, you have the corporate seats in the lower bowl and the fans kind of sit in the upper bowl. This is fans from glass to ceiling. Like, it is an exciting environment.
Pure
from
blue
the anthem.
collar.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or just
blue
fans,
collar
yeah.
fans.
Yeah, there's white collar fans. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. But this is like fans from top to bottom in that arena, and they just love hockey.
mean
They
not
love their
Toronto?
Jets, not Toronto. Like, good luck getting a ticket
Yeah.
in the lower bowl. It's not $1,000. So
And the fans suck.
had a good time. So we're in a suite, and we've had a couple of cocktails, and it's we're having a little bit of fun. And I got to fly home and get on the airplane, and I was on an airline, and I can't remember the name of the airline. Was it NorthJet? East? Can't remember. Whatever the airline was. Sitting in our seats, and we're having a slash. Yeah. Anyways, having a couple of drinks, and I was having a lovely time on this flight, and had some beverages, and the flight attendant had asked me politely to stop asking for beverages because apparently the volume of my voice was too loud. And I brought a pizza on the plane, and I was like waving the pizza in the air and offering people slices of my pizza. And some people didn't appreciate that. Some did. Some of the people I was with thought it was funny. Other people who did not want pizza in their lap also did not appreciate me waving my pizza around. If you've been in the Winnipeg airport, I think you would have. When you get through security in Winnipeg, there's a pizza shop, so you can get a hot pizza, and you walk on your plane, you got a hot pizza. Who doesn't want that? I don't want crackers and cheese for dinner. I would like to have a fresh hot pizza out of the oven. Anyway, so it got to the point where I did not believe I had had enough beverages, and despite the flight attendant who disagreed with me, I then asked my friend, who was sitting a couple rows ahead and off to the side, like, hey, order me a drink. And the flight attendant noticed my sneakiness, and I don't know if I was being sneaky or not, as I yelled across the aisle, can you please purchase me more beverages and then pass them back to me in a clandestine way that nobody will notice while I eat this pizza hanging out into the aisle. And that's my Dale Hawerchuk experience on whatever airline that was. I can't remember exactly. Buckled. Like, completely buckled, asking people to order me drinks and eating pizza like a jackass on an airplane on the way back from Winnipeg to Toronto. So that's my Dale Hawerchuk retirement story.
Are you going to tell the other part of that story, or we're not going to do that on camera, where the person that did buy you the extra drinks was Hawerchuk?
It was Dale Hawerchuk, yeah, it was. I was like, hey, Dale, can you order me a dummy? Sneaky, like a dump truck I was. Sneaky.
That guy's an outstanding guy. He'll do anything to help out any hockey fans, man. But number one in your heart. Number one in your heart.
I can tell you a story about Lanny McDonald. I was flying back from Calgary to Toronto, and Lanny McDonald's on the plane, and he's sitting a row behind and on the other side of the airplane. And on a similar airline, Northwest, Southeast jet. Anyways, He's sitting behind me, and half the flight I'm like this, like trying to figure out, is this Lanny McDonald? And the other half of the flight like this. I'm realizing like, oh my God, this is Lanny McDonald. Oh my God. So we're getting off the plane, and he's kind of waiting for people to go. So I'm waiting for people to go, and it's not weird at all as I'm staring at him, looking at him, waiting for him. So he gets up, I get up, I'm like, are you Lanny McDonald? And he's like, yeah, I'm Lanny McDonald. I'm like, oh my God, a big fan. My mom and I used to watch you, la la la. So I get off the plane and I call my mom. And my mom's a huge Lanny McDonald. I'm like, Mom, you're never going to guess who I met. I met Lanny McDonald on the airplane, took a picture, la la la. He's walking behind me. He goes, hey, give me the phone. Let me talk to your mom. And I was like,
What?
are you?
No.
I give him the phone, and he starts talking to him. He's like, "Hey, thanks for being a fan. I, love playing hockey, love the game. Met your son, really nice. Blah blah blah. What a classy dude. He had like, I was being like a total creeper. Like I'm sitting in the plane, like looking at him. He grabs the phone from me and talks to my mom to say thanks for being a fan. Come on, what a classy dude. Anyways, that's
Awesome. Hey,
number 9.
I just wanted to go into a little detail about who those people were. John Druce is a player that in 1989 played for the Washington Capitals. In that season, he played 45 games. He scored like 7 goals. In the playoffs, he played 15 games. He had 14 goals.
I know who that guy's name is.
Dude, because come on, John Druce, the only thing he did was in the playoffs. So he's a playoff performer. So I said,
how do you
have a problem? I'm sorry, I told you know this.
Yeah, but curious.
And the other one was Chris Kontos, right? Mr. Kontos did the same sort of thing, but with LA, right? He went played 11 games, had 9 goals, but in the regular season he scored 2 Tim Kerr goals off his skates into the net. At that time, you could kick them in with a kicking motion, but anyways, they counted it. So these are 2 guys that. These are the type of guys that we need. We need people to step up in the playoffs for the Leafs that maybe aren't your Marners or your Matthews or your Nylanders. Maybe it's Alex Nylander who's the guy that steps up.
Or McMahon or not.
Or nice, but
really technically.
Pat LaFontaine, Guy Lafleur.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about those 2, and that's why. And then one other weird thing happened today. I was watching hockey on TV, and there's an analyst, and he was a scout, and I think he's a goalie coach or something at one time. His name's Jason Bakula. I'm not sure if you guys have you heard of him, Rick, before?
I have, yeah.
Jason Bakula. Okay, so Jason Bakula. I wasn't in the room when the show was on, but the guy was talking, and I go, that sounds a lot like Brian Burke. So if you get a chance, listen to his voice. He sounds like a young Brian Burke. And it was my wife that pointed it out. She goes, yeah, no, he does sound like a young Brian Burke. So if you get a chance,
I love
go listen
that guy.
to oh my gosh,
love Brian Burke. I had a chance to meet him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't you meet him?
Yeah, I had a chance to meet him. We exchanged a few emails, stuff like that, and what a cool guy, though. Like and he is working. We were talking about a charity event that he was trying to get going, and for a great cause. Good dude, funny as heck, like funny in a very dry, satirical way as well. Good dude. Hey, we talked about nicknames in the last pod, and we got some responses back on social media for some cool nickname ideas or cool nicknames that came out. So, do you remember Borgard's nickname? Dennis Borgard?
Oh, the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
The Boogeyman, yeah. And we had
that is so badass. Yeah,
what a great nickname,
good.
Right?
Yeah, that's
we had a couple
best.
of McDavid ones, and I've thought of some like obviously McDusty, McJesus, like McDavid's got some good ones, but somebody posted the classic Montreal nicknames: Boom Boom Jeffrion, Rocket Richard, Pocket Richard, like some real classic. And there's some good Toronto ones out there too. So I loved hearing some of those suggestions and nicknames from the folks on social media. We definitely want to hear more of that stuff. Love hearing those, especially the good classic old ones.
Ed Belfour was Eddie
Malone. Carl Malone is the mailman.
Oh, there you go.
That's right.
Always delivered, yeah. Not hockey,
Alexander,
but NBA.
He was a little older than Carl Malone, and he played back in the 50s, I think. He also liked to play euchre in St. Catharines, Ontario, by the way. P.S. Yeah.
All right.
I knew none of that.
Yeah. Also true story.
It's learning time.
Hey, yeah. Let's talk about someone who got fired this week.
You know what? The Leafs winning the Stanley Cup, Alexander Nylander playing with his brother, and the Boston Bruins sucking are so amazing.
They're still around, man. They're still hanging.
Dude, they sucked. The coach won 75% of his games, and they said, "See you, Jimmy. Bye-bye."
Why?
gonna be there.
Why? So I love that
You have to
Boston's
go.
imploding. Love it. I think it's great.
So good.
Jim Montgomery. Why did Montgomery pay the price for a shitty team? Like, what did
Well,
Marchand?
And part of it's the defense. So they picked up Zadorov, and he was going to be the next Chara, and
Fire him.
he's been
fired.
fired.
What a loser!
They're trading him. They're trading him back to Vancouver. I heard.
Boston's making it. Don't
Zadorov.
This is what's gonna happen. Boston is gonna make
So
it the last wild card.
Are we going to bet?
We're gonna finish first, and we're gonna have to play Boston again. Regardless, it's always Boston. We're gonna play Boston.
Boston's not making the playoffs.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. For sure. Who else is making it in?
Not Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Ottawa? The hell is Ottawa doing? Come on.
It might be Ottawa. Like, Ottawa's got a real chance.
How many games
They've
has
got a
Boston
shot.
played? 21, right?
Oh yeah, 21. Yeah.
21 games, right? And they've won 9, lost 9, tied 3.
They got 21 points.
What's Buffalo?
Buffalo's got 19 games with 19 points.
With 2 less games played?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Buffalo's
so
a better
2
team
points.
than Boston.
No, they're not.
So are the Islanders.
No, yeah, it sure is.
Buffalo's not playing well
So
either.
is Columbus. So is Montreal. Throw them all.
No, Montreal's not.
Boston is making it. I'm sorry.
Boston's been terrible for 3 years. How they've done what they've done has blown my mind. Their goalie stood on their heads last year. The year before, who knows? Like last swan song of Bergeron. But I'm telling you, they got two. They got Pacioretty. Sorry, not Pacioretty. They got Pasta playing, and then they got Marchand. After that, who's going to score? Charlie Coyle.
Pretty solid.
Let's go, Coyle. Let's go. Come on.
And they got good goaltending, and that's more than Ottawa.
But their goaltending sucks now.
So they're in the last wild card spot right now.
Yeah.
You've got Buffalo, Detroit, kind of knocking on the door. I don't know if you can rule Pittsburgh out. Like, can you rule Pittsburgh out even though they're off to a shitty start? Like,
Sorry, are you serious? You serious?
can you rule them out?
And
It's
No,
Sid,
they're
it's
going for the
Carlson, it's
bottom. They're done.
Letang,
It's
Malkin.
over. It's over.
But anybody who's black, gold, and white is not making the playoffs this year. They're both not making it. Boston and Pittsburgh are not making it.
Vegas Golden Knights.
No, Vegas is making it. Yeah. That's
In the East. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Vegas is first in the Pacific.
So
Everybody
we'll say
so-
in the East.
First.
In the East.
In the West, the Calgary Flames, currently I'm in Calgary, the Calgary Flames are currently sitting in second place right now, which makes no sense. How are the Calgary
Wolf.
Flames?
Wolf.
It is Wolf. This
It's
kid.
Wolf. Dude, that kid is on fire.
Let's talk about Calder, like the Calder Trophy.
Well,
If this kid
it's his
does
to
not
lose.
it's his to lose. This kid is ridiculous. He is playing better and better every game. You can see him
is
getting
he, like,
better every game.
8-2-1 or something.
Something,
or
something
he's
like that.
8-2-1.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Got his first shutout. He was a goal away from 3 like he's had 3 games where he could have had shutouts. This guy, as a 23-year-old, my God, this guy, Calder Trophy.
A 23-year-old
Announce it right now.
goalie. A 23-year-old goalie.
Yeah. No, he's definitely going to be there. And then the first
Who's-
overall pick from
Celebrini.
San Jose.
Yeah, Celebrini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrini,
I think it's going to be between the two of those guys so far. Anyways, what that I've seen, those guys would be 2 of the top 2 for the Calder winning trophy. If I were to put 2 names for it, for sure.
So far.
Has a goalie ever won the Calder?
I'd have to check. Yeah, I think did Carey Price win it?
Well, that's pretty
Has
good
a Calder?
company if he did, yeah.
I think
I'm
Carey
checking,
Price
I'm checking,
did.
hang on.
Okay. And while you're doing that here, I'm going to read the quote from
Steve
Paul-
Mason,
Oh, from Washington.
Of course. Yeah.
Columbus.
Yeah, makes sense.
Andrew Raycroft. before-
From Toronto, Andrew Raycroft.
No, from
That's
Austin's.
yeah. Austin when we
Stupid
decided
Boston.
to trade.
Martin Brodeur, 94. Martin Brodeur. Eddie Belfour, 91. Here you go. Tom Barrasso, 1984. Dale Howardchuk, 1982.
So
Yeah,
this
there
is
you go.
Howardchuck's not a
pretty good
goal.
company there for goalies.
He could if you wanted.
Wow.
That's some pretty good company.
So here's the
That
quote
is
I
great
want to
company.
read. Great company. Here's the quote I want you guys. This is the actual quote that came from Paul Bissonnette from Spitting Chicklets. You guys ready for this?
Ready.
Paul Bissonnette states, "It's a nothing burger with regards to the hit to the head of Matthew Knight. A nothing burger." So dude didn't get hit in the head? Dude didn't leave
I
his
don't even
feet?
know what that means.
He said it's nothing. It's nothing. Whatever. Everybody's whining about nothing. It was a hockey hit. Dude, he hit him in the head. He left his feet. Not 1 foot. Feet meaning plural. for those
Yeah,
people that are following along at home.
That's what they
Hit
call
in the head, charging, knocked him unconscious. This kid, that was just
got his bell rung.
whatever. His third concussion. Nothing. What's nothing about that, buddy? Even if it wasn't a penalty, it was something. So give your head a shake.
And Biz is a Toronto fan. He's from your neck of the woods. I think his parents are in the St. Catharines area.
He's from Welland.
Welland.
He can stay in Welland.
And so to hear them say that that's a nothing hit. Initially, when I watched that hit, I thought, okay, he got hit. I didn't see what's his name, White Cloud. I didn't see him leave his feet. I was, we were watching the game somewhere else, like not at home.
I jumped up when he left his feet. I go, he left. I screamed at the TV. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
That happened. Oh, yeah.
A nothing burger for a guy to get knocked, concussed. Dude's from Welland. Dude's spitting chiclets. Dude's wrong. Enough said.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey,
This is my favorite player, but I'm like, whatever, it happens. Keep your head up, buddy. He was skating with his head down a bit too, man. I'm sorry, and I love the kid.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying it's not a nothing burger. Come on.
No,
when somebody gets hurt like that, come on. He should know better than that. Whatever.
It's definitely a 4-minute power play in their favor.
Yeah, of course. That's
the line. Definitely not that. But we beat them 3-0, so whatever.
There you go. Moving right along.
Yeah, hey, I think the last thing I've got is you had one more nickname, Jay, and you misheard the announcers talking about Toronto defensemen as we're talking about nicknames, and you came up with a great nickname. So, and I can explain what that nickname is.
Go ahead, buddy. You do it.
You tell the story. I can explain what the product is after you tell them what the.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll walk you through it. So, who on the Maple Leaf, Shane, blocks the most shots as a defenseman? Who we've picked up this year.
Probably, I think, Tanev.
And if Tanev was standing right in front of the net and he's blocking shots. So I overheard the call-by-call guy say, and Tanev right in front of the net. So it sounds like, when you say it, it sounded like he said Tannerite, right? So Tannerite, what is Tannerite, Rick?
Is that for... Yeah, so if you don't know what Tannerite is, shout and get the legal limit of it right now. Tannerite is a reactive target or a reactive substance that you can shoot, and it's used for like getting rid of tree stumps in farmers' fields. It's used for that kind of stuff. But Tannerite is a reactive product that, when shot at, creates a bit of an explosion. And what a great nickname for Chris Tanev, right? Who can kind of be explosive.
That is so good,
right? It's so good.
I didn't even hear that before.
Tannerite. So we gotta watch it. We gotta watch some videos on Tannerite right after this. It'll blow your mind what this stuff does. It is. It's fantastic. So good.
Hey, I think loved hearing from people on social media, on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We've had a lot of people dropping some comments and really want to hear that. Want to hear your ideas and show topics. If you've got something to suggest for us for a topic for the show, we definitely want to hear that too. Really, really appreciate those comments and people engaging with us. We're trying to get some subscribers going with YouTube. And Jay, you and I were chatting, but we've got a few, and we think people would really enjoy the show if you had a chance to watch the entire show. If you've got that kind of time and you want to put it in the background while you're making dinner or listening in the car, we definitely want you to do that. We are on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on Podbean, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, Instagram. All those different areas you can connect with us, but we really would love to see people sign up on YouTube and on Apple Pods or on Podbean, Spotify, something like that. And, give us a listen, and maybe we'll piss you off in the car so much that you're punching the roof of the car, or maybe you'll laugh along with us a little bit, or you agree or disagree. We definitely want to hear your comments and talk about your topics. Give us an idea. Give us something to talk about. Whether it's controversial or funny or ridiculous, we want to get talking about that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, thanks, folks. We really appreciate you listening and watching, and looking forward to talking to you again soon.
Cheers.
Ciao, guys. I have to pee so bad. Holy fuck.
Thanks for tuning in to the Hockey Huddle and hanging out with us through all the slap shots, big hits, and highlight reel plays. Whether you're a diehard fan or just getting into the game, we appreciate you being part of our hockey family. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and hit us up on social media with your thoughts, questions, or hot takes. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep your stick on the ice, your head up, and we'll catch you in the next period. Take care, everyone.